Hey everyone, it's Nick from Mega Jimny, and today we're going to be installing a version 4 Supa-Sleek Snorkel kit to our shop Jimny XL. So let's get started. So in the kit, you'll find a snorkel body, you'll find a fitting bracket, an A-pillar fitting bracket, you've got various fasteners, bolts and Allen keys. You've also got two silicone couplers here, one for the airbox connection and one for the snorkel connection. We've also got 4 hose clamps, and we've got the stainless steel intake pipe, which will be in the color of your choice. For tools to fit this snorkel, you'll need a panel trim clip remover, you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver, a ratchet with an extension bar, a 10mm socket and a 12mm socket, and a pick. So step one is we're going to take off both of the windshield wipers here, and the easiest way to do that is just grab both of these little covers, like 1 and 2. You can get these off with your hands, so there's no need for any tools. Underneath these covers, you're going to find 2 12mm nuts. Grab your ratchet with a 12mm socket on it, and take them off. So you can just crack them off like this. Once they're cracked, you can get them off with your fingers. But make sure these nuts do not fall down the holes that are underneath these wipers, because it is very hard to get them back out. So once you've got both nuts off, push down on the wiper like this, and then it will pop itself out, just like that. And do the same with the other side. Give it a hit, lift it up, and it will pop off just like that. Leave these on the floor in the configuration you got them off, so you can put them back on the left side and the right side. So once you've got both wipers off, it's time to pop the bonnet. So after you've removed your wipers and popped your bonnet, we'll need to remove these clips here to take off the wiper panel. We'll also need to disconnect the wiper squirter hoses. There'll be 2 of them. This is where your panel clip remover will come in handy. So now that you've removed all your clips and you've disconnected both of your washer squirter hoses, it's time to remove the cowl panel, and there's an easy way to do this. So what we do is we get a rag, we put it underneath the edges of the bonnet here, like so. So when you remove the cowl piece, it doesn't hit the bonnet. Grab underneath and grab the back of it where the windshield is and give it a bit of a wiggle, and it will pop straight up, just like that. Take your rag out and go to the other side and do the exact same thing. So once both sides are disconnected, go to the front of your Jimny, reach forward and pull it out the front, just like that. So the next step is to take this corner A-pillar piece off. This will be held on by 1 Phillips head screw in the door jamb and 1 10mm bolt up here with a clip next to it. So get your ratchet with the 10mm socket on, and let's take that out. So next step is to remove this Phillips head screw from inside the door jamb. Get your Phillips head screwdriver, take it out, but don't throw away this screw because we're going to be reusing it later for the A-pillar bracket. So once you've got all of them removed, it's time to remove this corner metal A-pillar piece. There'll be a plastic bar slide underneath here with 2 little prongs that will need to be lifted up. This is where the pick comes in, so let's get started. Lift them up. And off she comes. After you've removed the corner piece, this is the little plastic slide. We'll also need to take this off. So remove the 2 Phillips head screws that are in here. This piece simply pulls off just like that. So now that we've got both of them off, you can see the 2 little tabs at the front and the back where they go in. And these are the ones that will need to be pulled up with your pick. So after you've removed the corner piece and the plastic bar slide, this 10mm bolt needs to come out as well. So after we've got everything off the Jimny, we've taken out the bolt that's on the top of the guard, it's time to fit a bracket onto the back of our snorkel. So we'll grab our snorkel, we'll turn it on its face, and we'll fit the bracket to the back of the snorkel. In the fastener container, you would have found these 2 tiny little Allen keys with spring washers and washers. These will need to be used to fit the bracket to the back of the snorkel body. And tighten them up. Like so. So once we've fitted the bracket to the back of the snorkel, it's time to fit the snorkel body to your Jimny. And you've got 2 options for this. Option number 1 is to take the whole bonnet off, but that requires 2 people. So option number 2, which is what we're doing today, we're going to be removing these two 12mm bolts off the driver's side hinge to feed the snorkel underneath. So you don't need 2 people to do this, it is a 1-person job. So let's show you how it's done. So before we take off these two 12mm bolts, make sure that your snorkel is near you, because once we take these off, you're holding the bonnet by yourself. So if your snorkel is somewhere in another room, you're not going to be able to grab it and feed it underneath the bonnet. So let's get started. So now that we've got the bonnet completely free on this side, there's no bolts on the hinge at all, you can grab your snorkel and lift the bonnet like this, feed it through and sit it in position. Once done, you can put in the bolts back on your bonnet. Once you've got your snorkel in position and you've put your bolts back in your bonnet hinge, make sure you line them up exactly how they came out. So once we've got our snorkel in position, it's time to fit various fasteners to it. So in your kit, you would have found these Allen key bolts. Put a spring washer and a washer on them and feed them through the side of the snorkel body like this. So for this more further hole, you need to get your Allen key bolt, but you also need to get a washer and the supplied nut. These will go at the back. So put your bolt in, grab the washer, put it in between your 2 fingers and put it behind the bolt. Grab one of the 10mm nuts that are supplied in the kit and carefully, with 2 fingers like this, put it on the back of the bolt like so. Just leave them finger tight for now because we're going to do some adjustment with the snorkel just in a little bit. Now, with the same clip and 10mm bolt that you took out from before, put these back in on the top of the snorkel. And don't tighten this one up just yet as well. After you've got all of the fasteners in and they're not tight yet, we're going to close the bonnet so we can align up the front of the snorkel here. So once your bonnet's closed, we're going to make sure that this gap here is pushed all the way forward so that your bonnet has plenty of room to open and close. Once you've pushed your snorkel body forward, we're going to tighten up the more further back Allen key bolt so it holds it in position. Once you're happy with the alignment, tighten up the top 10mm bolt as well. Now that we've got the snorkel on the Jimny, it's all aligned and it's all tight, it's time to fit the A-pillar securing snorkel bracket. These will come pre-applied with double-sided tape on the back, and the kit also includes 2 stainless steel screws that we'll be using to secure this bracket to the snorkel. We'll also be utilising the Phillips head screw that was removed from the A-pillar earlier. So let's go. Peel off a little bit of the double-sided tape, just like so it's easier to grab once we've put the snorkel bracket onto the car. We're going to grab that little Phillips head that we spoke about earlier, feed it through the bottom of the bracket, just like so, and we're going to fit the bracket to the car. Just like that. We're only going to leave this finger tight for now, just like so. Now, once the bracket is sitting in position, we're going to align the bracket with the edge of the car's A-pillar. So once we've got it aligned, we're going to peel the double-sided tape back all the way, and then we're going to press just like that, so the edge of the bracket lines up with the car's body. Just like so. Once aligned, we can tighten up the bottom bolt all the way. Once you've got it all secure, we can now screw our tech screws through the A-pillar bracket and into the snorkel. So grab one of your tech screws, put it onto your Phillips head, and make sure your snorkel is hard up against the Jimny. Once you've done that, simply screw it in. These will automatically drill a hole into the side of your snorkel and secure your snorkel to the car so you won't have any vibrations. So now that we've fitted our snorkel, we fitted our snorkel securing bracket, we can now fit our wiper panel, our wipers, and then we can fit our snorkel intake pipe right at the end. So once you've got all your wipers installed, all clipped in, it's time to install your intake pipe. So the first thing we'll have to do is remove your factory rubber intake pipe, and you'll need your 10mm ratchet once more. So once you've undone both 10mm bolts and you've loosened off the plastic intake pipe, you can actually put these 2 screws back into the body so you don't lose them. Now it's time to remove the rubber intake pipe, just like so. So now that you've got the rubber intake pipe removed, we can fit the 2 silicone couplers to the Jimny. These will come with their own sized hose clamps, so don't mess them up. And also they will have directional arrows to which way the clamp should be going. Once you've got both silicone couplers fitted to the Jimny, but not tight, we can fit the metal intake pipe. So once you've got your pipe installed, it's time to tighten up all the hose clamps. So make sure it's not touching the brake master reservoir or touching the aircon line at the front here. So once you've got it sitting right, you can tighten up all 4 hose clamps. So there we have it. That is a Supa-Sleek Snorkel version 4 installation, all done. And you didn't even have to use a drill. Thanks for watching.